I personally think after my experience, not only at Doherty, but just throughout my experience in this district, I feel like this idea of inclusion is almost a contradiction within our district. And the reason why I say that is because our school, I do recognize our school has so many programs and things like, for example, Circle of Friends is one of them. Best Buddies is another. There's so many, the list goes on to provide special needs students with these resources, to provide them with a sense of inclusion, but we don't embrace them in all aspects of our environment and school. So how do we go about that? How do we say we're inclusive just in this one aspect of school, and when we go out, where does that go? So that's the first thing I really just wanted to put out in the air, this idea that I think everything I'm going to say is kind of revolved around this idea of I recognize that we do have inclusive opportunities, but I think the first step that our district needs to acknowledge is that we need to embrace them. And the first thing I'm going to say about that is implementation is a really big thing. And I think when I noticed throughout my educational experiences that the special needs students walked into if they were in my class, if they had the luxury and opportunity to be in my classroom, which I believe they should be, they would come in 5 to 10 minutes late. So we see this line of difference where they're already coming in late. They can't just walk in like us normally. So how do they feel good in an environment where they're automatically getting stares the second they walk into a room? Additionally, with Circle of Friends, something that I did was I noticed that throughout my whole experience in school, that there was this isolation between the group of students in the cafeteria specifically. And what I wanted to do was just completely break that down and bring them all over the cafeteria and sit them around and show our general population that they deserve to be with us, and that you need to normalize their presence in this school environment because they exist and they're important. And I think bottom line, we need to embrace them as special needs students in all aspects. And another thing I wanted to touch on is this idea of representation as well. I think this is one of the most important things that I'm going to mention is, and speaking in regard to my experience with my sister auditioned for every single drama play from freshman to senior year and was never selected in any of them. Tried for leadership, was never accepted. Tried for basketball, never accepted. How do we say we're inclusive when we don't provide them they know their condition, most of them do. So like they already know that most of us have the ability to pursue things like college or jobs, but they already know that they can't do that. So when they know that they can't do that, but they also can't participate on campus, it's like, where do they feel like they have any worth? And the last thing I just wanted to say is, I think it's important to shed light on post-graduation, because I don't think we get enough attention toward the post-graduation and what happens when they're done with high school. And my sister just finished high school, and now she's in this transition program. And to give you all context, transition is where a lot of them go, where they're able to go where they still remain within the district after high school. And just to also give you context on the location, transition is in the parking lot of Del Amigo High, aside from San Ramon Valley High School. There's no computer lab. Lunches, you have to go to San Ramon Valley High School cafeteria to grab your lunch. And that's pretty much it. So your school is in a parking lot and you don't have any access to the materials that you need. So it's basically a downgrade from high school. And community college, or any form of college or any choice that they want to do, is not encouraged whatsoever. So especially in a district where we are very encouraging, we encourage practically every student to apply to college. So how do we have this, which is fine. And I think we should have both. I think we should embrace both and provide both. But if we're going to have that environment, how can we make it so that the special needs community is a part of that? And how can we make them feel important and not literally pushed to the side in a parking lot, is my question. So yeah, thank you.